Alright, hello. This will be part 3 of my kind of Welcome to Battlefield refresher series. We will now be doing support. So support, as we all know, their big thing is machine guns. Now, when it comes to machine guns, they're really, I would say, classify them into really two different types. We have, I like to call them the more AR-style machine guns, which, are mag-fed, kind of, a little bit lighter, a little more ergonomic, better stability, that kind of stuff, which is, like the 100, the LA6A2, stuff like that, kind of RPK. RPK is kind of in the middle. And then you kind of have your heavier ones, which I'm currently running. It's like Type 88, LSAT, M240, M249, great weapon. The AWS, Jeff Bezos, yeah. So again, machine guns, you will be using them. They're great for laying down fire, suppressing enemies, getting lots of kind of just laying down the law type stuff. I would say when it comes to design of a machine gun, you want a sight that fits your needs. So if you're thinking of engaging at longer ranges, you have a longer range sight. If you're thinking you're the guy that runs up and it's kind of point blanking people, do that and maybe run a grip type thing. I'd say kind of the two ways to run them is, I would say kind of more for the heavier stuff. I would say longer range, you run a bipod, you maybe come muzzle brake, flash hider, that type of stuff, depending on what you need. And then depending again, like probably if you're running a scope, magnifier. When it comes to kind of the closer range stuff, I would recommend more of kind of like the assault rifle type ones, and that would be again shorter range. Maybe run like a flashlight or a tack light. Lights can be really powerful. Also, like laser sights can be really nice, especially because machine guns generally don't have the best hip fire. Again, here just kind of find what you need, and then of course take some kind of grip that that fits you. So again, yeah, support. That's what they're really based around. Support really, they achieve in both kind of weapons and equipment. So I hadn't mentioned this before with assault. So assault is kind of it's the weapon is the main point, and then kind of the equipment supplements it, type of thing. Engineer, it's all about the equipment. The weapons are kind of crap, and support, the weapon and equipment are kind of two separate things, because you can do a lot of different things in support, and I'll actually get into that. This is what I'll have probably the biggest presentation on. So again, you can their primary thing is again machine guns, but they also support unlock shotguns, which again, this is the weapon that pretty much all classes can use. And shotguns will make them very unique in that you can kind of change different types of ammo. So they're very, again, like the class of support, it's a very customizable class. You can have all sorts of scopes, lasers, that type of stuff. Again, with shotguns, I would highly recommend, because you're gonna be close range, flashlights, laser sights, very good. Barrels, again, kind of depends on how you like it. I like the duck build just because it's kind of gives you more kind of breath without spraying out too much. You can get like chokes, which will give you a little more range, accuracy type stuff. Muzzle brakes, I don't really think you need those type on them, but yeah. Now, big thing with shotgun again is ammo. So buckshot is, it's short range, incredibly deadly. The darts are kind of, has less of a spread than buckshot, but it's still, it's better range, and it's still pretty deadly. Frags, again, kind of that, it goes boom. Just for balancing purposes, these, it's not going to have the power of an actual grenade. Its biggest point is suppression. So if you blow, if you're shooting at people, they're not going to be, they're going to be suppressed, which means, they won't be able to aim as effectively, type stuff. And then slugs, well, they nerfed them from Battlefield 3, where you pretty much were able to turn a shotgun to a sniper rifle. These are your longest range, and kind of, you're shooting a single large projectile, so, don't expect, just kind of spray and pray, and you're going to have to be a little more accurate unless, you're point blanking, which at that point, pretty much anything will do the same. But these can be very unique in that, again, you can do a lot with them. It makes shotguns a longer range weapon, and I thought that'd be the one case where I'd say, maybe use a longer range scope if you really got the skill and balls. Again, grips are always good. You can always have a grip. Really, in terms of type, I would say either hip fire or kind of, for the semi-automatic ones, the ones that kind of reduce the effective recoil. That's really it when it comes to the weaponry. Now let's talk about some of the equipment. So the equipment on support is very, very new. There are a lot of different types. I mean, you have kind of like assault. You have the grenade launchers. You have the air burst, which isn't as powerful, though you have an air burst effect, so it can be really good if someone's hiding behind a door and it's kind of hard to lob a grenade. The smoke, which again, throw a cloud of smoke. The dart. This is pretty kind of nice. Kind of like similar to the M26 shotguns that you can get on assault. It's you get 4 shots, and pretty much you have a shotgun with this too. So that can be nice. When it comes to the bread and butter of it is ammo. So you start with the ammo pack, but then eventually you'll work your way into the ammo box. Which ammo box, again, this is the really good, especially compared to assault. Like the medic box is nice, but the ammo box for support is just it does so much more than the ammo pack, just because you can refill equipment, grenades, that type of stuff. Though, be mindful, grenades take a while to regenerate. But again, an ammo box is, I would say, probably one of the best support items in the sense that you put it next to an engineer, they have infinite rockets. You put it next to a sniper in a tower, they can shoot all around. You put it next to even assault, their grenade launchers will be constantly fed. So again, it truly will support your friends in many ways possible. You have next we go into the kind of more base defense type stuff. So you won't be necessarily using as much in Conquest. I do know for stuff that's like Rush, these can be very, very useful. You have claymores, which are little mine. We all know mines. Someone steps in front of it, they go boom. The active protection system. This can be very, very nice. And again, you'll notice with vehicles, one of the last things you can get is the APS, but it is probably the best defensive piece of equipment. Because what it does is, for a short while, at least, I think this actually, it's for, depends on the amount of rounds it can shoot down. But pretty much any sort of explosive projectile coming in, it just shoots out of the sky. Whether grenades, rockets, whatever have you, shells. People can't just, when that thing's up, and when it's, has shots to be fired, because obviously if you just had it up and just did, blocked everything, it would be way overpowered. But when it's up, it can just just block things out, and it's pretty nice. Again, you can get C4, though this again is one of the later things. So if you really are into C4, I'd probably recommend starting out with Recon. But again, C4, good for blowing stuff up, as we all know. Ballistic shield is a more interesting thing. Well, I've not used it. I've never really tested out and heard much about it. Potentially, you can block bullets with it, so that's pretty nice. Now, another very nice feature of support that I would say is probably the secondary feature is the quasi-artillery support features of it, which include the mortar and the UCAV. The UCAV, the challenge is a little hard, just in the sense that it's 3 jet ribbons, so just hop in a stealth jet and just go ham on the other people, and then it requires an air superiority ribbon. And what makes this kind of hard is air superiority is kind of a dead game mode, so you're gonna have to be searching around. If you really, really want it, I would highly recommend picking a European server, because those still have occasionally some people that are like get 3 friends and then just kind of take turns winning. It's not boosting, it's friendship. Again, so yeah, that's the UCAV. So the UCAV, it's a little drone that pretty much shoots, goes up, and then you guide it to its target. Now, be mindful, the blast radius isn't the best, so you're gonna need to go for direct impacts. Except for if you land next to an infantryman, I don't think it'll still kill you. And it doesn't have very much battery life, so you can't just be lingering around. But still, in the hands of skilled people, you can use this to take down pretty much anything. They're actually very, very good for taking down helicopters and other aircraft. So again, nice features. The mortar, again, it's a mortar, it's pretty much a small little piece of artillery. What's really cool about the mortar is it's kind of similar to some kind of emplacement based stuff, which is like the MAV, the UD bot, and a couple other things. You can pretty much put it somewhere and then run away and shoot from there. So one thing I will a lot of times do is I'll run up, place my mortar in kind of a relatively hidden position, and then I would just kind of run into a bunker that might be overlooking it. So then I'll just kind of shell people with it, and also occasionally launch a UCAV if I want to be an artilleryman. kind of good to harass people. Now, the mortar, it's not as powerful as like other vehicles such as like the rocket artillery, but still, I mean, you can get kills with it. It's a pretty good area of denial weapon because if someone knows that you have them dialed in with the mortars, they generally aren't going to stick around. Also, like, to hit vehicles with it, you can get vehicle kills. I've done that before, especially like if they're damaged. And mortars generally will deal more critical hits because they're hitting from the top. So even if you don't get the kill, you might land the shell that immobilizes the tank, and then all your friends just launch RPGs at it. So again, very, very powerful. It's a pretty nice thing. And this, I meant to mention, I had mentioned field upgrades. So this, again, field upgrades, for those who don't know, are just kind of pretty little perk sets. Now, they aren't actually active from the start. What it requires is, there are commanders in the game, which are a bunch of people that pretty much tell your team what to do, and they can award promotions to your squad, and like each level of squad promotion will give you certain perks. So your defensive, it's like reduces incoming damage, suppression, regeneration. Perimeter defense means like it kind of increases that type of stuff, indirect fire. So again, I would apply something that would work best. You don't expect a whole lot out of it. So again, really as a support, I mean, I would say the two biggest things about it is, again, the types of machine guns that you run. Because generally, I mean, I guess in theory you could run a carbine or a DMR. Or shotguns at for close range maps. But really, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to be running a machine gun. They're fabulous weapons. Very, very useful. I mean, like some of these, like for example, the U100, you can pretty much turn it into like a heavy assault rifle. No, I think it fires 5.56, so it's still pretty good, yeah. I don't think I have stuff. Yeah, I built it pretty much again. Bipods are very, very useful when it comes to matter. So again, deploy your bipod, because again, machine guns, they have a lot of recoil just given their fire rate and stuff like that. But you can use them in a manner that will turn them into some of the most powerful things in the field. Because especially for maps like Operation Metro, even just like things like Savage, where you are gonna have large concentrations of people, you can lay down fire like it's no one's business. Okay, let me deploy this thing. There we go. Again, no recoil. It's no recoil whatsoever. That shot. And this is the for those who didn't see, this is the M249. So it's pretty much the saw. So yeah, this is, I really like it just because it has the highest ammo capacity of any weapon. And, well, one of the highest. It's like the M249, and I think there was like the Type 88 or something. Again, even when you fire from the shoulder, like it's still pretty good. If you put a grip on it, like I have a friend who runs it with a grip, it's dangerous. This is the UCAVs, so we're just gonna kill this boat right here. We don't run out of battery. Oh. Got a hit, I think we went too far, but against this. Actually, what I probably should have done is find a vehicle and mark that, but again. We have another UCAV out. Ooh, let's see if we can hit this. Like I said, see, UCAVs are... No, I think that... Yeah, that's gonna explode. Hopefully it explodes. What the heck? Well, nonetheless, so yeah, UCAVs and mortars, very, very powerful weapons. But yeah, that's really also with support. Like again, I'm kind of repeating myself, but find a kind of role that fits you, whether you're just going to be the support machine gunner, or if you want to kind of be the artilleryman. Or if maybe you just kind of want to hang around and, plant C4 and, claymores and whatnot. To each their own. Let's see if we can. UCAV should be able to. I don't think they always would kill vehicles, but what the heck, it bounce stuff. Again, that's all. I'm done with it. All right. Well, if this is all, you have a nice day. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be recon.